But it doesn't mean that they're awfully to happen every single day though. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be cautious of Halloween because every other day is the same. I'm saying like we can't let that be a thing that makes us lock up in our houses and hide. Um, if you have a conviction not to participate in something, don't participate that. I'm not going to say go do that. I can't say that. It'd be a sin for me to say that. But I'm also not going to say lock up your doors and hide and shut yourself off from the community. Because we complain as Christians about how we're not taking the community and the community is being taken away from us. But it's because we gave up the community. And we need to be very aware that if you don't want to do traditional Halloween, I would argue either one, do a different kind of celebration, or two, if you want to put a safer place for kids to do trick-or-treating that's not on the neighborhood, if you're concerned about the neighborhood for whatever reason, I'm not saying that sarcastic, if you have a genuine reason to be concerned about the neighborhood, do a trick-or-treat or something like that, where you're like the church is so involved that it is not only a safe place for kids, but it is a gospel covered area of like people there who are facilitating it are all there to share the gospel in some way, shape, or form. And if you have no convictions about it, go out and do something in honor of the Lord with it. Just something to glorify Him. Bringing tracts, praying for people, giving candy with tracts, something. Or do a different kind of celebration with people who maybe have strong convictions. Find a way to help them not feel locked up, because here's the thing, we should never isolate either. And my concern for those who maybe have a strong conviction, their immediate response is isolation. Find a way to maybe get them involved with you in something that's not Halloween related, if that's their conviction.
Hold a worship service.
Of course. There's so many things we could do. It doesn't have to be you go do Halloween celebration. There's so many things you could do. So again, this video is not to say, Christians, you must go do Halloween practices. It is to say, consider your reasons, understand that it's not really pagan in origin. And if you do have convictions, don't go against them, but find another way to glorify the Lord. Even if it is just within your house and your family, do something with your kids to glorify the Lord with them. If you have a conviction not to take your kids out. Or see if your church can get someone involved in something. Find something, because there's not a single day that Satan has more power than God. I know it's not everyone has this conviction, but to act in fear of this day, to claim that you give up your identity because your kid dressed up, is just to give him that very reign that he's telling you that he wants, even though he still can't have it. But he's getting that over you because you're aligning yourself in fear to him in some way. You're not relying on the Lord. You're actually hiding as if he does have this power, which he doesn't have. And we got to be aware of that. We got to be very aware that there's not a single day that the Holy Spirit is weak. And the only reason that there is ever struggle in our life is because we have decided to not be in alignment with God. That is what sin is to be apart from God. I know it's not that's my Theo bros out there. Of course, I'm not saying that's the simple definition. I'm just for the point of the video. So find some way to be involved. Even if it's just with your family or for your neighbor or for your church, or if you have no strong convictions, go out. But also don't hold it against Caleb here, who wants to take his daughter out with his wife to, celebrate
something. Candy for
go get candy.
Us.
Go get candy. There's nothing immoral about that.
The good news is my wife is really crunchy, so anything with like red 40 in it is all mine.